INFJ women are known for their deep empathy, intuition, and strong sense of purpose. They are the rarest of all the Myers-Briggs personality types, and their enigmatic nature can be both captivating and confusing to those who try to understand them. While INFJ women have many strengths, they also come with certain weaknesses that can pose challenges in relationships. Understanding these vulnerabilities is crucial for any man who wants to build a strong and meaningful connection with an INFJ woman. In this note, we'll explore 10 weaknesses of INFJ females that every man should be aware of. Recognizing these traits will help foster a more balanced and compassionate relationship, enabling both partners to navigate the complexities of this unique personality type. Overthinking everything. One of the biggest weaknesses of INFJ women is their tendency to overanalyze every situation. Whether it's a conversation, a text message, or a simple interaction, INFJs often ruminate over every detail, trying to find deeper meaning or hidden intentions. This overthinking can lead to unnecessary stress, anxiety, and misunderstandings in relationships. Be patient and provide reassurance. Make sure to communicate clearly and openly, as this will help calm their mind and reduce overthinking. INFJ women are incredibly empathetic and often absorb the emotions of those around them. This sensitivity can be overwhelming, especially in emotionally charged environments. They may become emotionally drained or stressed when exposed to negative energy for extended periods. Give her space to recharge and encourage her to take time for self-care. Understand that she might need alone time to process her emotions and avoid burnout. Struggling with vulnerability. One of the most complex challenges INFJ women face is their struggle with vulnerability. Despite their deep emotional intelligence and empathy for others, INFJs often find it difficult to open up about their own emotions. This paradox stems from a fear of being misunderstood, judged, or even rejected. As natural idealists, INFJ women often hold themselves to high emotional standards, which means they hesitate to expose their raw feelings unless they feel completely safe with someone. INFJs are incredibly selective when it comes to who they trust with their inner world. They need to feel a deep emotional connection with someone before they allow themselves to be fully vulnerable. Even in close relationships, this can take a significant amount of time. INFJ women tend to keep a large part of their emotional life hidden, afraid that revealing too much might lead to judgment or disappointment from others. This difficulty with vulnerability can lead to a number of relationship challenges. Partners might feel that the INFJ woman is distant or hard to understand, especially when it comes to her own feelings and needs. While she may be a fantastic listener and deeply attuned to her partner's emotions, she often struggles to share her own. This emotional reserve can create a wall that's difficult to break down, making it hard for her partner to truly know her. On the flip side, INFJs crave deep emotional intimacy. They long for relationships where they feel understood and accepted without judgment. However, their fear of vulnerability can sabotage this goal, as they often hold back parts of themselves. This internal conflict can lead to feelings of loneliness or frustration, even when they're in a loving relationship. The roots of this struggle often come from past experiences. INFJs tend to be highly sensitive to criticism, and if they've been hurt or rejected in the past after opening up, they may develop an even stronger reluctance to share their emotions. Over time, this can build into a protective mechanism where they choose to avoid vulnerability altogether, in an attempt to shield themselves from future emotional pain. How partners can help. It's essential for a partner to create a safe space where an INFJ woman feels comfortable enough to be vulnerable. Consistency, reliability, and empathy are key in building this trust. Pushing an INFJ woman to open up before she's ready can backfire, causing her to retreat further into herself. Instead, show that you're there for her, but give her the time she needs to feel comfortable. Gently encourage her to share her thoughts and feelings, but don't force it. When she does open up, listen attentively and without judgment, which will help her feel more comfortable being vulnerable in the future. INFJs often fear that their feelings are too much or not valid. Reassuring her that her emotions are both important and valid can help her feel safer in expressing herself. Ultimately, the key to helping an INFJ woman overcome her struggle with vulnerability is patience and understanding. Once she feels truly safe and emotionally secure in a relationship, she will begin to let down her guard and share more of her inner world. When that happens, the emotional connection that follows can be incredibly deep and rewarding for both partners. Perfectionism and self-criticism. INFJ women tend to be perfectionists, constantly setting high standards for themselves. When they fall short of these expectations, they can be incredibly self-critical. This relentless pursuit of perfection can lead to feelings of inadequacy and frustration, especially when they feel they aren't meeting their own or others' expectations. Offer encouragement and remind her that it's okay to be imperfect. Celebrate her achievements, even the small ones, and help her see that she doesn't have to be perfect to be valued. Difficulty in setting boundaries. INFJ women often struggle with saying no and setting healthy boundaries. They are natural people pleasers, always wanting to help and support those they care about. Unfortunately, this can lead to them being taken advantage of or feeling overwhelmed by others' demands. Help her recognize the importance of boundaries and support her in asserting herself. Encourage her to prioritize her own well-being without feeling guilty for saying no when necessary. Fear of being misunderstood. One of the most defining and challenging aspects of the INFJ personality, especially for INFJ women, is their intense fear of being misunderstood. As one of the rarest personality types in the Myers-Briggs system, INFJs often experience life through a lens that few people can relate to. Their deep, complex thoughts, layered emotions, and unique way of perceiving the world often make them feel isolated, even in the midst of friends or loved ones. This fear of misunderstanding can significantly impact their relationships and mental well-being. INFJ women possess an incredible depth of thought and emotion. Their inner world is filled with rich insights, complex ideas, and profound reflections, but they often struggle to communicate these thoughts in a way that others can easily understand. This difficulty stems from the INFJ's tendency to use abstract, intuitive reasoning, (NI), paired with deeply felt emotions, (FE). Because of this, they may express themselves in ways that seem cryptic or overly nuanced to others, which can lead to frequent misunderstandings. For an INFJ, being misunderstood can feel like a personal failure. They crave connection and often seek to build meaningful, authentic relationships, but when their thoughts or feelings are misinterpreted, they can quickly withdraw. This fear is so strong that INFJ women might hesitate to share their true selves, afraid that others won't get them. As a result, they might edit or withhold parts of their personality, leading to feelings of loneliness and frustration, even when surrounded by people. This fear of being misunderstood is often heightened in social situations, where INFJ women may feel like outsiders. They might notice subtle differences in how they think or feel compared to those around them, and this realization can make them feel even more alienated. For instance, while others may focus on surface-level conversations or day-to-day matters, INFJ women are often preoccupied with deeper, more existential questions about life, purpose, and the human condition. When they try to bring these topics into conversations, they may feel dismissed or that their insights are not valued, further reinforcing their fear of misunderstanding. Another layer to this fear is the INFJ's strong sense of idealism. INFJs have a vision of how they want their relationships and interactions to unfold, authentic, deep, and meaningful. When reality falls short of this ideal, they may internalize the gap, believing that they weren't able to express themselves clearly enough. Over time, these experiences can lead to self-doubt and frustration, as they begin to question whether they'll ever find people who truly understand them. The fear of being misunderstood also affects how INFJs process conflict. INFJ women tend to avoid conflict because they dread the possibility of being misinterpreted or having their intentions questioned. When disagreements arise, they might withdraw or become overly accommodating to keep the peace, rather than risk further misunderstanding. Unfortunately, this avoidance can lead to unspoken resentment or unmet needs, which only exacerbates their feelings of isolation in the long run. How this fear affects relationships. Emotional guarding. INFJ women may build emotional walls to protect themselves from being misunderstood. Even in close relationships, they may not fully reveal their thoughts or emotions, fearing that their partner won't be able to relate to them. This can create emotional distance, making it hard for partners to connect on a deeper level. In conversations, an INFJ woman might hold back from sharing her true opinions or insights, especially if she senses that the other person won't appreciate or understand her point of view. Over time, this can lead to feelings of stifled self-expression and frustration, as she isn't able to fully be herself. To avoid misunderstanding, INFJ women often over-explain themselves, giving long-winded explanations in an effort to ensure that the other person fully grasps what they're saying. Unfortunately, this can sometimes have the opposite effect, making communication more complicated and overwhelming for the listener. How to support an INFJ woman. One of the most important things you can do to help an INFJ woman overcome her fear of being misunderstood is to listen actively. Show genuine interest in what she's saying and ask thoughtful questions to clarify anything you don't understand. This will help her feel heard and valued. INFJ women need to feel like their thoughts and emotions are valid, even if they don't always make perfect sense to others. Offering empathy and validation can go a long way in making her feel comfortable sharing her inner world. Sometimes, INFJ women need extra time to articulate their thoughts or feelings. Be patient and give her the space to express herself at her own pace. Rushing her or dismissing her ideas can trigger her fear of misunderstanding. Let her know that you appreciate her for who she truly is and that you're interested in understanding her perspective, even if it's different from your own. Encourage her to share her authentic self without fear of judgment. How INFJs can overcome this fear. One of the first steps for INFJ women to overcome their fear of being misunderstood is to accept that not everyone will get them, and that's okay. Embracing their unique way of thinking and being proud of it can help reduce the sting of misunderstanding. While it's tempting for INFJs to over-explain themselves, learning to communicate more concisely can help others understand them better. Focusing on the key points they want to convey and trusting that others can follow their train of thought can lead to more effective communication. Surrounding themselves with like-minded individuals who value depth and authenticity can make a huge difference in helping INFJs feel understood. Building connections with people who resonate with their values and perspectives can alleviate much of their fear. INFJ women often put the needs of others before their own, leading to chronic people-pleasing tendencies. They want to avoid conflict and make sure everyone around them is happy, sometimes at the expense of their own happiness or well-being. Encourage her to prioritize herself and remind her that her happiness matters just as much as anyone else's. Help her find a balance between caring for others and taking care of herself. Struggling with decisions. INFJ women can struggle with decision-making, especially when they're torn between their idealistic vision and practical realities. They often feel paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice, which can lead to procrastination or avoidance. Be supportive and patient during decision-making processes. Offer a balanced perspective to help her consider different angles, but don't rush her, she needs time to weigh her options. INFJ women are often passionate about causes and people they care about. While this dedication is admirable, it can sometimes lead them to overcommit and spread themselves too thin. When they give too much of themselves, they can become emotionally drained or burned out. Help her recognize when she's taking on too much and encourage her to prioritize. Remind her that it's okay to take a step back and that she doesn't have to solve everyone's problems. The helper complex. INFJ women often feel a strong need to help others, whether emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. While this is a beautiful quality, it can sometimes become a weakness when they overextend themselves to the point of neglecting their own needs. They may even feel guilty if they can't fix everything for everyone. Remind her that it's okay not to have all the answers and that her well-being matters, too. Encourage her to seek balance between helping others and caring for herself. Understanding the unique weaknesses of an INFJ woman can help create a deeper, more meaningful connection. While these traits may pose challenges, they are also a part of what makes INFJ women so complex and captivating. By recognizing these vulnerabilities, a partner can offer support, patience, and love that allows an INFJ woman to feel safe, valued, and understood. If you're an INFJ woman or someone in a relationship with one, what are your thoughts on these weaknesses? Have you experienced any of these challenges? Share your insights in the comments below.